Good morning, everybody. This is Tyler Finkin, Health Marketing Director at Western Marketing. It is 10 o'clock. We're going to give everybody about another 60 seconds to get logged in here, and then we'll get started. How's that look, Mitch? Is that the right screen?
Yep, it looks good now. The actual the left side of the slides is not showing, so it looks great.
Okay, perfect. All righty. All right, well, it is 10:01, so we'll go ahead and get started here. Again, good morning, everybody. My name is Tyler Finkin, the Health Marketing Director over at Western Marketing. Certainly appreciate you taking time out of your day to be on this webinar with us. I'm really excited about this. This is kind of the first of its kind webinar that we've done over here at Western Marketing. We were lucky enough to have met and hired Mr. Mitchell Fink, who's going to be on with us today. And we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the strategies and everything that he has used over his career in the insurance industry to organically grow more leads than he could possibly handle. Like I said in all those emails, right? Just millions and millions of dollars worth of business, training agents, and all that good stuff. So, what I want to do real quick here before we introduce Mitch is I want to kind of give you a little bit of a background on Mr. Fink here. Yes, his last name is very similar to ours. No relation yet. He has not earned the last two letters yet. So this is kind of his trial right. You know, when he gets there, we might give him that little EN at the end there if he does well. So, anyways, I want to kind of introduce Mitch here. So Mitch started his insurance career about 15 years ago in a captive agency, and all they did was sell cancer, heart attack, and stroke plans door to door. So they would go out to a town and rent a hotel room for about a week, and they would knock on as many doors as possible during that week and sell cancer plans. And I always tell people, I said, that business model just sounds crazy to me. I mean, you got to be a special kind of person to be able to do that. But I will also tell you that anybody that can be successful in that business model can be successful almost anywhere. These guys that came from this captive agency are some of the best trained agents I have ever met in my entire life. And Mitch did that for about 12 years, and he was like the number one agent in the country for that agency most years. I mean, he broke and held almost every sales record within that company at some point in his career. He was so good that they gave him exclusive territories, and over his career, he ended up training over 100 agents personally, most of whom are still in the insurance industry and very successful. Over his career, between him and his team, they sold over $20 million in just cancer insurance alone. I mean, that's crazy to me. So, um, after about 12 years of that, you know, Mitch kind of got tired of being on the road all the time. Was out 5 days a week away from his wife and his kids, and decided, you know, there's probably something better out there for me. So he left that agency and decided to go the independent route. Now, he learned very quickly that going independent, that there was more products available, more carriers, and more opportunity. So he didn't really know where to start, though. So what he started doing in the independent world was he kind of started picked up right where he left off. He started doing cancer, heart attack, and stroke plans, and then he thought, you know, hey, you know, this could lead into more sales, including like Medicare sales and ACA sales, other ancillary products like dental, vision, hearing, accident plans, even in the group space. And so he started taking what he learned in that captive world and applying it to the independent world. And that's when his business exploded. And I really do mean exploded. It just went gangbusters through the roof. And we started to take notice. And so I called him one day and I said, Mitch, you know, your production's way up, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, what happened all of a sudden? And he said, well, he goes, I just kind of figured out a way to apply what I learned in the captive world and get in front of so many people and so many business owners and groups and everything that he goes, I never buy leads. I've got more leads than I can handle, and that's just kind of how I've been doing it. And so we sat down one day, and he goes, I want to show you this because I think we can duplicate this model and really use it for agents, whether they're brand new or experienced agents that are looking for a little help, and use it as a track to run on. And so I said, all right, why don't you come into the office? We'll sit down and we'll talk about it. And so, kind of a funny story. We get in here and we sit down, and Mitch is just like, "Hey," he goes, "I'm doing this all by selling, cross selling my clients cancer, heart attack, and stroke." And I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, we've all been taught how to cross sell cancer, heart attack, and stroke. The traditional way is to do your Medicare sale or do your ACA sale, and then tack on the cancer, heart attack, and stroke or the ancillary products on the back end. That's a great model. It works for a lot of people, but it's really, really hard to get people out of their comfort zone to do that and become successful with it. And some people do, most can't. And he said, no, no. He goes, it's a lot more than that. He goes, hear me out. So we sat and talked for about an hour, and about halfway through, the light bulb went off in my head, and I said, "Mitch, you're on to something here, buddy." I said, "It's traditionally kind of backwards from what everybody would do." I said, "But it's really, really interesting how he's doing it." And that's kind of what we're going to go over today is exactly what he figured out, how he's doing it, and how we can translate that into something that you all can take immediately in your business, start doing, and start growing your business. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Mitchell Fink.
Good morning. How are you doing, Tyler?
I'm good, buddy. I appreciate you being on here with us today.
Excellent. I'm glad to be on here. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for taking the time. Got some pretty great stuff to go over. Thank you for that great introduction. As Tyler mentioned, I've been in the insurance world for going on 15 years. No, I didn't start when I was 15 years old. I'm about 40 now, so I look pretty young. But yeah, I worked with a captive agency. I don't regret working with the captive agency. As Tyler mentioned, it trained me to be the person that I am. And really, like Tyler mentioned, I was an old-fashioned boots to the ground sales guy. I would go into areas that had absolutely no customer base. I had no idea of who lived there, and I would knock on doors from the moment the sun came up to when the sun came down. Really because I knew no better. I had never sold insurance prior to teaming up with that captive agency, so I did what I was told. I thought that that's how you sell insurance. You just go up, knock on people's doors, and that's what I did. And I did I made a career out of it. I met a lot of great people along the way. As Tyler mentioned, I had a lot of success with that company. I broke a lot of the sales records that had been in place for over 19 years with the company. Some of my most prideful moments were, writing 53 cancer policies in 1 week for $77,000 in premium in 5 days. I had the number one week or number 1 month of $176,000 in premium in 1 month. Personally wrote over $6 million in business. So it was a great experience. Got to train a lot of great agents and. But my position with that captive agency was something that required me to be gone Monday through Friday. And let me tell you guys, that's easy to do, when you're a single guy in your 20s with no kids. Heck, I didn't mind being gone, making 6 figures, and that was great. But as we all know, life changes. You start families and so forth, and you're needed back home a little bit more than you were when you were single and on the road. So I ended up really kind of starting to explore the independent world. And let me tell you guys, I didn't know what I was really getting into. I was really, really scared to get into it because I kind of felt like I was a drop of water in an ocean. I didn't really know where to start, really where to turn. But I knew that I needed to be home. And throughout the 12 years or so that I was completely captive, I ran into so many people that were looking for so many other products outside of cancer, heart attack, stroke, and accidental injury. So I knew I needed to team up with somebody to have access to these products, to get those products out there. I wanted to expand my portfolio of what I could offer to my clients. And really, I kind of went back to my grassroots. I went out and I started prospecting clients that, basically led with a cancer plan, because that's what I knew how to sell best. But what was really interesting and what made me start thinking about creating a training program on how to sell all these various products was the fact that I was going out and I was leading with cancer insurance or a heart policy or an accident policy in like a business atmosphere. I would contact businesses, and I was able to go in there and not only sell high volumes of cancer insurance and high volumes of heart insurance and high volumes of accident insurance, but I was also then leading into, I had a lot of business owners asking me if I did any group health insurance. Well, then I was landing the group health insurance. Then I would have a lot of the owners ask if I could possibly put together a life insurance package. So then I'm starting to land the life insurance. Then they were asking about 401ks, retirement plans. And I'm like, holy smokes, like I'm selling everything that I am offered, that I can offer. And thank the Lord, when I left the captive agency, that I had a friend who was tied to Western marketing, and that they introduced me to Western marketing. Western marketing introduced me to all the great products that I can sell, and that's what the policies that I was selling in these workplaces. But what was so cool and so exciting is I would go into these companies, these businesses, and I would explain to business owners that I could put together a benefits package that would be totally voluntary, that he could offer to his employees at zero cost to him as the employer. And that was kind of my lead in, because if you walk into businesses anymore and you try to have them spend more money on health insurance, sure, some people might let you in the door and they might allow you to present some different products. But this day and age, they want to offer more benefits, but they don't want to have to pay for them. So Tyler and I kind of teamed up, and we started really paying attention to my sales process, how I was getting in these businesses and selling life insurance, annuities, 401ks, Medicare supplement plans. And let me tell you guys, you would not believe the amount of Medicare that I have sold by going into a workplace leading with voluntary cancer insurance. Because guess what, guys? People retire out of their companies. And so all the time, about once, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, I get a call from my businesses that I sold cancer insurance to saying, hey, Jim is retiring at the end of the month. He really needs help with integrating into Medicare. So what I'm getting at, guys, is Tyler and I put our heads together when I was contacting these businesses, writing multiple cancer plans, life insurance, Medicare, group health insurance. We put a training process together, which is step by step, that teaches you guys how to go about doing that. I want to share one quick story, and this just happened yesterday. So 2 weeks ago, guys, I contacted a small electrical company called Ken's Electric. Okay, they've got 13 employees. Okay, I walked in the door, and there was a front desk lady. Now, front desk ladies, we like to call them gatekeepers. Okay, so I explained to the gatekeeper exactly why I was there, and I used the verbiage that we put into the training process that all you folks get free access to. I used the verbiage to get past the gatekeeper to get to the decision maker. Now, it turns out the decision maker was the owner's wife. She handled all of the insurance. So I walked into her office, and once again, I used the verbiage that is in the training materials that Tyler is going to send out to everyone if you don't already have it. And I used the verbiage to explain to her what I was there for. And I simply told her I specialize in the administration and education of voluntary benefits. And I really went into what I could offer her employees. And the product that I picked to talk to her about was a cancer plan. When I talked to her about a cancer plan and how I can offer it to her employees with zero cost to her as the employer, she instantly said, you know what, I'm actually very interested in a cancer plan. Let me take a look at it, and then we'll see if we can offer it to my employees. So I showed her the plan, and she goes, you know what, I'm 11 years cancer free. Sign me up. That plan is fantastic. I never thought I could even get cancer insurance because I've had cancer in the past. She goes, I would love for you to show my employees that. And I showed an accident policy also. So cool part about that is I was able to show the employees, okay, an accident policy and a cancer plan. And then she mentioned, do you handle group health insurance? And I go, absolutely. I'm a broker. I've got all access to all of the major carriers on the market. And this gal proceeded to tell me, she goes, we've been with Blue Cross Blue Shield. We had a 17% increase, and we barely filed any claims on our group health insurance. We cannot figure out why our group insurance rates keep going up. I said, let me go ahead and run you a quote. So I ran her a quote. I quoted her the exact same insurance, okay, that she has. I built the same plan, which we can do for you through Western Marketing. I built the same plan, and I sold her the same health insurance plan for her 13 employees at $12,000 a year less. Now, when she saw that $12,000 a year savings, what was awesome about it, her husband was there. She said, we can afford to take some of that savings, and can we pay for an accident policy for every one of the employees in the business? I said, absolutely. So right there, guys, that's 13 accident policies I wrote right in there. I landed their group health insurance, and then we also are going to be implementing a 401k, and we're also going to be implementing all sorts of different products. Life insurance is eventually going to be introduced, but just by landing the accident insurance, the cancer insurance, and basically their health insurance, that 13-person group is going to pay me $22,000 in commissions for that one group for the year. Now imagine if you guys did that 3 times a year. 3 times a year, you find a group of 13 people, a small electrical company, maybe a mechanic shop. 3 of those, that's going to pay you $66,000 in commissions off of that. But the only way I got into that company, guys, is because I told her I could offer a benefit to her employees with zero cost to her as the employer, okay? But people have to understand how you go into these businesses and what to say, when to say it. So what Tyler and I did is we put together a training process. It is a training process that is in a PDF format that literally shows you step by step exactly what to say it, when to say it, and most importantly, guys, why you say it. I've trained over 100 agents in my career, and I can tell you those 3 things are extremely important, but the most important thing is people got to understand why you say something and how it's going to help you get involved in that business and do all of their insurances. Now, here's where it gets awesome. When Tyler and I originally put our heads together and he asked me how I was selling all this business, I said, man, I'm a referral guru. I love referrals. They're warm leads. And guess what, guys? They're free. I've never paid for a single lead in 15 years ever. And I've written a lot of policies. But let me tell you how you get those referrals. That's another section inside the training manual that we have put together that teaches you exactly when to ask for a referral, how you ask enough questions to prime the pump to get quality referrals. So all of this is in the training manual, but let me tell you a little bit about this last group. So Penn's Electric, when I went in there, sold the cancer plan, the accident policy, got the health insurance, when we presented the cancer policy and the accident insurance to the employees, I bought it was a group of guys that worked there, and they all hunt and fish. I knew that because the owner had said that. So I went to my local sport shop and I purchased a hunting rifle, and we raffled the hunting rifle off at Penn's Electric for every person, every employee that came in to the presentation and heard the cancer plan pitch and the accident plan pitch, got their name put in a drawing for a hunting rifle. And it was a couple $100 hunting rifle. So I paid $260 for this rifle. But they couldn't wait to come in just to get their name in the drawing. Okay. But where I gained a ton of referrals is for every employee that came into the presentation and heard my pitch for the cancer plan and the accident plan, every referral that they gave me was another name that they got to put into the drawing box to win that rifle. Take a guess on how many referrals I came out of there. I came out of there with like over 375 referrals in a 13-person group. And this enrollment only took me one day. So in one day, I acquired 375 quality referrals for free. And I spent $246 on the rifle, right? But my commissions off of that group, guys, was $22,000 off of the year. So what we're trying to get out to you guys is we can teach you and train you to go into businesses, okay? And basically gain more referrals than you can ever even imagine, okay? Now, guys, we want everyone to understand too that this isn't just about this training process that we put together is not just about contacting businesses. There are many sections to this training, okay? One thing that you guys are very fortunate and is that a lot of you on this call most likely already have a really good, strong customer base that you've got a close relationship to. Hallelujah, that's a gold mine that you guys are sitting on, okay? The reason why is we can teach you guys how to effectively cross-sell a cancer plan, a heart plan, or an accident plan, or a disability plan, whatever plan you want to sell. We can effectively teach you how to do that without it being awkward. Because there's nothing worse than going up to one of your clients and just flat out telling them, I've got a new product that I'd like to sell you. No, there's a better way to do that. So we figured we would put that on paper for you guys. So if you're interested in contacting businesses, which let me tell you, don't miss out on that. It is so easy to get into a business and tell them that you can offer benefits that will enhance their current plans, and it's going to cost them nothing. All you're going to do is just show it to the employees. If they buy it, great. If not, that's okay. But that's your foot in the doorway, but you got to know what to say. And once you get in there, like I said, you're going to land the group insurance. You're going to land Medicare sales for people who are retiring. You can set up retirement programs from those people who are leaving the workforce to go into their retirement. But if the business atmosphere isn't your cup of tea, that's okay. We can still train you guys on how to effectively cross-sell your existing client base, but not only do that, but effectively gather referrals off of your customer base. We're proud in our sales team to be able to track everything. We track everything. We track how many people we see in a day. We track how many presentations we give. We track how many referrals we get. Now, our group of guys has a client base now, finally. We developed it. We cross-sell products. We've tracked it down to we get about 15 to 20 referrals per presentation. Okay? Now do the math. If you guys ended up taking 4 of your clients a day, or even 3, let's just narrow it down. You see 3 of your clients a day, and you sell them a cancer plan, and you get 15 or let's say 20, you get 20 referrals off of each one of those, you're giving yourself 60 extra leads a day, okay? So if you do that in 5 days, 300 extra leads per week, how could that change your guys' agency if you gave every one of your agencies or you gave yourself 300 extra leads per week? You'll never pay for another lead again. And I'm not a guy that likes to purchase leads, nothing against anybody, but I see what the turnaround is on the percentages of what these leads can, like the kickback, how these leads turn out. I can tell you right now, our referral closing percentage right now on our referrals, we close 65% of the people we sit with when you get a hot referral from an existing customer. So let me ask you this, would you guys rather go out and take $3,000 and do a 10,000 person mailer and get a 1% return? Or would you take 300 free leads and have a 65% closing ratio? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out which route I would be taking, okay? But that's the wonderful thing that we can bring to the table for you guys, is we can teach you how to effectively sell ancillary products with a step-by-step process. That's the thing, is you don't have to think about what you have to say or how to say it or even when to say it. We've done that legwork for you. So we are super proud to roll out a training process that, like I told you, will provide you with hundreds of leads. Okay, as long as you implement this effectively and pay attention to the training materials, you will have more leads than you can shake a stick at. Okay, these businesses that we've been contacting, my group right now has got probably 10 quotes in the works right now. And if we land them all, and when I say quotes, I mean quotes for group health insurance, we're probably going to write right around $3 million of group health insurance within the next probably 3 months. Okay. And we're not, that won't even put us really halfway through the year. And we've done like, $6 million in group insurance. The whole way we've done that, guys, is we take the training scripts that I have put together and we use those to get in the door. And what I mean by this is when you walk into a business, you have to know what to say to the front desk lady or the HR director. Now, once you get an appointment with a decision maker, now what a decision maker would be like an owner of a company, a general manager. Once you meet that person, you've got to know what to say to pique his interest to set an appointment with you to give what we call an employer presentation. Once you give that employer presentation, that's going to create the need on how important it is to offer voluntary benefits at no cost, though. When you start to tell the employer you can give their employees lots more access to different benefits at a highly discounted price for no cost to them, they'll allow you to go into the business. Now your foot's in the door. Now you can go after the ancillary products, the health insurance products. You can talk to them about investments, annuities, 401ks, flex spending plans. The sky is truly the limit when you get into a marketplace. But like I said, this training process is also going to teach you how to effectively cross-sell your existing customer base. But not only is it important to effectively cross-sell your existing customer base, because guys, let's face it, they need cancer insurance. They truthfully do. If any of you on this call sell Medicare Advantage plans, I'm sure you're aware of what happens when someone goes through chemotherapy. They've got a maximum out of pocket due to chemotherapy. Ding, ding, there's a cancer plan. There's a cancer sale right there, okay? But it doesn't end there. We're going to teach you how to effectively get the referrals. But you know what's more important? We're going to teach you how to effectively get 15 to 20 referrals per presentation. But how good is a referral if you don't know how to approach that person? If Tyler Finken gives me a referral to go see Derek Finken, but I don't know what I'm going to say to Derek Finken when I get to his door, or if I give him a call on the phone, that referral is really kind of a worthless referral. So once again, there's another section in our training manual that teaches you how to effectively approach a referral, when to approach a referral based on their ages. There's all sorts of wonderful things that we are proud to roll out to you guys and give you access to, okay? The other thing I wanted to talk to you about as well, my agency just started implementing. There is a section inside our training manual that is called Partnering with Property and Casualty Agencies. I want to share another story real quick with you guys. There's a lot of, I live in rural northeastern Iowa, very small towns all over the area. So there's a lot of privately owned property and casualty agencies all over the place, okay? So what we've been doing is approaching property and casualty agencies and explaining to them that we can come in and offer cancer insurance, heart attack and stroke, and accidental injury, these ancillary products, we can offer these products to their existing property and casualty book of business, and then offer them an override commission and a guaranteed renewal commission. So essentially, you're going in and accessing their book of business and doing all the legwork of selling the products and giving them an override commission. So the guy that I just recently sat with, he owns an agency down in Lansing, Iowa. Sat with him. I told him I used our scripts that's in the training materials. I told him exactly what products I wanted to sell. I showed him how I was going to sell them. So he approved my sales presentation. And then I told him exactly what commission override I was going to get him. And he said, so I sit in my office and do nothing, and I get an override and a guaranteed vested renewal forever? I said, precisely. He goes, of course, I love making money for not doing anything. He gave me access to his database of 5,300 clients. How many years is it going to take me to run through that? That's years and years of free leads. Because guess what? I know how to effectively get referrals. So those 5,000 clients are probably going to lead to 10 to 20 to 30,000 free leads. Okay? Our point of doing this for you guys is leads are expensive. We understand that, the turnaround rate, the success rate of selling those leads is getting smaller and smaller. So why not think outside of the box and get free organic leads? Going into businesses and having a raffle and getting free referrals that way. Using your existing client base to cross-sell a product and then getting referrals off of that. Contact the property and casualty agency and explain exactly what I just mentioned, and having them turn over a monster book of business to you that you get to go out and utilize and get referrals off of that. I mean, we have so many leads right now in our agency that it'll be years before we contact all of them. And we're not paying for a single penny of them. Okay? So we are excited, like I mentioned to you guys, to roll out this training process. What is awesome about this process is we are willing to either come out to your agency, we are able to do a Zoom call, and we can in-depth train you on whatever field that you really want your agents or yourself to specialize in. Whether it's cross-selling your book of business, whether it's partnering with the property and casualty agency, whether it's just gaining referrals off your current base, whatever you guys want us to do, we can do that for you utilizing this training process that Tyler and I took 7 to 8 months to put together, where it's duplicable, it's easy to understand, and it's something you can literally study over a weekend. And on Monday morning, you can take that and run with it. Okay?
So I'm going to interrupt you there on that one, Mitch. So I want to tell like a real quick success story on what Mitch just said. We did a call a couple of weeks ago with a very, very big name in the industry that's very well known on social media and does some conferences and everything. A bunch of you probably know who I'm talking about. But Mitch and I did a real quick call with him. It lasted about 45 minutes. There was about 35 or 40 people on there, and we went through our program like we did just now. Well, we had a real young kid contact us, and he said, hey guys, I've been in the industry for about 8 months. He goes, I've been struggling. I've been working for an agency that all I've been doing is like trying to get in front of groups, and I just can't sell anything because I don't know how to get in the door. I get turned away by the gatekeeper, yada, yada, yada. So what we did is we sent him the materials and had like a 10-minute call with him. I think it was Mitch, and we said, hey, read through this, study it. We'll talk next week. Well, we tried to call the kid. He didn't answer, but he called us a couple weeks later, and he goes, guys, I studied your materials and learned the verbiage and everything verbatim. And he goes, I've already landed 8 new groups and everything and appointments. He goes, just because of using your stuff. And he goes, that's more than I've been or that I've gotten into in the 8 months that I've been doing this. And so he and Mitch have been talking. They've set up, some group insurance quotes. The kid has sold a bunch of ancillary products. It was really incredible to see that, somebody that young and inexperienced can take this and do it. So imagine what you can do if you've been in the industry for a while and, you're just looking for something new or something to supplement what you're already doing. Guys, this can totally revolutionize your business. we did a group training in our office here in Iowa one day, and we had about 8 people in our office in our conference room, and about 25 more people on a Zoom call. It was a really, really in-depth 5-hour training, and at the end, one of the guys like was knocking over the conference table to get to us to like give us a hug. He's like, "Hey, this is gonna completely change my business. I'm no longer gonna cold call for 25 hours a week. I'm going to start doing everything you guys did here." And they've taken it and they've run with it and they've been super successful with it. So it does work. What Mitch was saying is, we do trainings and everything with agencies all the time. So if you want us to do a Zoom training or even come out to your office to sit with you and your agents, we will. Heck, Mitch will even fly out and run appointments with you if you need some field training. So we've done all that. Like I said, it's been very successful so far, and we can't wait to get it rolled out to everybody else.
Absolutely. Yeah, we one thing that I'd like to add, guys, is as I'm starting to once we've rolled this out, and I've started to really work with a lot of folks within the Western marketing platform. There are guys that they've done just a 2-hour training session on how to cross sell their book of business. And I mean, I was just on calls yesterday. These guys are absolutely killing it using this tried and true system that I've taken the 15 years of experience and rolled it into one training manual. And I was very fortunate to get to work with some of the highest end salespeople that I have ever met in my life. And I put that information down on paper. And like Tyler said, we're really excited to get this out because we know it works. My sales team has been using this for the last couple of years, and we're killing it. And we just wanted to make sure we got that out to you and made that available to you.
Absolutely. So, hey, one thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning of this, and I apologize, is there is a questions box on the right-hand side of your screen, probably. And so I know there's probably a ton of questions that people have on certain things. So if you want to type your question into that questions box, Mitch and I would be happy to address those questions. Otherwise, we can always follow up with you on one-on-one basis, but I want to tell another story real quick. We just had a meeting over the weekend down in San Antonio, Texas, with about 30 people in the room, and all of these people were highly successful in their own right. Agency owners, independent agents, and everything like that, already highly successful. And the meeting was a free exchange of ideas and processes and everything like that. And so Mitch and I got to give a real quick presentation. He did most of the talking as usual, but because he's a superstar. But after the presentation, people were coming up to us afterwards and said, "Hey, I need to get you down to Louisiana. I need to get you over to North Carolina. I'm having, my agency incentive trip is in April, and we want you guys to come down there." So this stuff, it really, really does work. I'm really, really excited to talk to everybody about it. And so I encourage you to, like I said, ask questions in the right-hand side of the screen there, or get a hold of us at the office here. There's my contact info, that phone number on there. Just ask for any other health marketer on this, and we've been happy to ask or to help you out. So I do have a question that came in from Charles. It says, "Where can I get the manual?" Charles, I'll reach out to you personally here and go over that with you, and I'll get you everything. Everybody else as well, if you're interested, just let us know and we'll send you everything. So, Mitch, you got anything you want to add here real quick before we wrap up, or?
No, I just thank everybody for joining this call. I know you're busy people out there, and I look forward, like Tyler said, I'm one of them old-fashioned trainers. I'm a guy that's willing to get in the trenches and take the leads. I'm a lead by example guy. So if you need some field training or you want to do some classroom training, all you got to do is let us know. I'll reach out. We'll make it happen. And we can execute it right in front of you and show you that this program does work and it is the real deal. So we're excited to roll this out. Reach out to us if you guys have any other questions, okay?
Yep, absolutely. And one thing that we didn't mention, Mitch, and is probably the most important part, is I think one of the reasons everybody kind of gets into this industry is that renewal income. By the way, you can build some massive renewals by doing this. And like Mitch said earlier, not only the first year commission's great, the renewals are awesome, and it's going to build a nice little income stream for you. So thank you to everybody that jumped on today. Certainly appreciate your time. Hope you thought the information was helpful, and I definitely look forward to speaking with you all after this and getting you some more info. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.